All right, race fans, buckle up, strap in, roll up your windows, lock your doors, hold on to your hats and glasses as we unpackage another barn burner. This time we're in Seattle for what's typically a very challenging track, but luckily for these riders, the track, while it was ruddy, was not a complete mud fest. It gave us quality race action in both classes. Let's start off with the 250s, where Cole Davies pulls off the first win of his career at 17 years old. Last year, doing basically futures. This year, winning races. There might be a new player in town with Cole Davies. Can he continue to go on these types of runs? I believe he definitely can. The kid's smooth. He's efficient. He looks good. Everything's lining up for Cole Davies to emerge as Supercross's next big thing. But let's go ahead and move down the pack where Juju and Danger Boy Deegs, coming off his fresh arrest, getting a little jawing going on. And Juju was not happy with the block pass that Deegs made on him, taking the last step on the podium. It was a classic strategic, actually brilliant move because Danger Boy Deegs wanted to send a message. Now, one thing I will say, I like the fact that Juju Beaumer went up to him and let him know after the race how he felt. He's not backing down to Danger Boy. This dude is ready to fight. Now, I think he's a little bit outmatched with Danger Boy, but I do admire the fight that he's displaying. Now, it got a little bit chippy from what I could tell, where Juju started taking some cheap shots, like, from what my understanding is, I know where you live, dude. I know where you live. Payback time. But that can happen in the heat of the moment. I get it. But at the same time, Danger Boy wasn't having it and basically said, bring it on, dude. And that's just Danger's full send attitude. In fact, during qualifying, he came out sporting some custom gear in inmate stripes. He's got his merch launched. He clearly has heard what we've been saying here is you've got to maximize this. Don't just brush it off and ignore it. Embrace it. And that's what he's done. This is actually something that could, in fact, be a blessing in disguise. Now, the industry itself probably isn't hugely pumped that Danger Boy got arrested because they're trying to make this into family-friendly ball-style sporting events when we all know it's really just modern-day gladiator games, and you got to have a screw loose to do this stuff. I mean, you're basically risking your life out there every time you throw your leg over the bike. So, I mean, it is what it is, but you know, in the conference rooms for the industry, they're trying to re-strategize where they go with this because they had basically pinned all their hopes on the Wonder Boy being the new face of the sport, when in actuality, just like Deegs took out Juju, Deegs actually took out the industry, kicked the door down and said, you can try to make this dude the face of the sport, but I actually am the face of the sport. So good, action-packed racing. We could go all through the pack storylines, all through it. Triumph, Jordan Smith comes back, gets hit in the face by Moseman's bike. You know, just all kinds of gnarliness going on. But really, for me, it's going to be the Juju-Deegs feud moving forward. That's really the thing to watch, in my opinion, along with Cole Davies. Can he continue and go win more races? And clearly he can. The kid looks really good. He almost looks like a reincarnated Chad Reed. He's just fast. He's efficient. He has the accent. Even kind of looks like Chad Reed a little bit in and of itself. So with that being said, I believe Cole Davies definitely could go on a massive run and emerge as the dude to beat. But we will see. I know if Danger Boy gets a start, it's a different story. Now, this was a tough track. It challenged him, but I loved what I saw out of Danger Boy. He overcame adversity in his heat race. He overcame adversity in the main. And you just got to hand it to the kid. He came to play. There is nothing you can really do to shake this kid up. He pretty much has his head on straight. Now, Let's move on over to the 450s, where it was, if you can believe it, even more action packed. This one obviously is the Chase Cooper Webb show, but after Justin Cooper was fast qualifier and hit the podium last weekend, it looked like he was poised to do it again. I'm sure a bunch of you guys had him in your fantasy picks. Now, somebody I didn't even have on my radar for my fantasy picks was Ken Roxon. Kickstart Kenny came out guns a-blazing, and clearly, if this injury he has is basically inhibiting his ability to ride, it did not early on. Now, I think even a healthy Ken Roxon, it wouldn't have surprised us to see him go backwards, even when he's healthy. It was being compromised showing for Kenny early on. It was fans in the stands had to be stoked as this thing had a 4-way battle to start that was really, really entertaining. But it came down to the end where Chase Sexton and Cooper Webb were in an official dogfight. And listen, friends, nobody likes to see somebody get out front and just check out. This thing had lead changes. Kenny, it had Cooper, it had Chase. It had all kinds of lead changes. But what I saw with Chase Sexton was, in fact, again, this was a tricky track, but he had this thing in the bag. Cooper Webb was able to just do Cooper Webb stuff, stay close, be strategic, use his rider or race IQ to pretty much get in front of Chase and then keep Chase behind him. Now, I believe on that last corner at the finish line where Chase came in looking like he was going to dive bomb, and of course, Cooper Webb chopped off that corner, left no room for him to try to sneak inside. It was very, very smart. I believe Chase should have bumped him. I think he could have came and just initiated contact, gave him a bump, got him a little squirrely, and tried to squirt up the inside. But Chase is a respectable and clean rider, so even though he came in there and tried to spook him, he just doesn't have that kind of dog in him. I think anybody else, well, at least Cooper Webb, would have probably came in and gave him a good old-fashioned bump. In final thoughts, I come to you as a friend, as a content creator, as a moto guy that wants to see you not only win on the track, off the track. Understand the waters you're swimming in now. They're shark-infested. Seattle, welcome to the swimming pool. A lot to unpackage. We've got the dogfight between Chase and Cooper Webb. Cooper Webb extends his points lead. Chase is going to need some help. But we all know Chase can, in fact, win on any given night. And with open-air stadiums now for the rest of the season, these tracks could get trickier, which, in fact, could play into Cooper Webb's hand because he usually thrives. The harder the track, the better he gets because it starts dispatching other riders. That's exactly what Cooper wants. But this is Supercross. Anything can happen. In the 250s, the Juju Danger Boy saga could provide some fireworks. I would not be surprised based on what I've seen out of Juju after that race, getting in Deegan's face, that he, in fact, will give Deegan the business if he gets a chance. He will try to clean him out. Unfortunately, I just think Deegs is too strong. It's going to be hard to move him out of the way. As good of a rider as Juju is, I just don't see it happening. But it could provide for some good race action storylines and drama. In the meantime, Walty will be here to blow the lid off it every step of the way. Because it's not only what we need, it's in fact what we deserve. If you appreciate the content, I want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Social media links in the description of this video if you'd like to follow me there, along with links to channels I've appeared on I think you might enjoy. If you enjoyed this video, you're going to love the next video, and there's an easy subscribe icon for your convenience. As always, thank you for your time. Don't go over the bars. God bless, and I'll see you on the next video.